Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I will be showing you some kind of setup that's allowing you to do kind of like a face blinds effect. So the result is looking something like this. Okay, so each face of Susan head or the monkey head here is kind of appearing and disappearing face by face. And this actually works really well for if every part of Suzanne face is actually quads, but since Suzanne is not all quads, in this case it's not 100% perfect, but still quite interesting to see this happening. You can replace this with something simpler, like for example cylinder without the cap. Let me show it to you. Because I'm actually taking advantage of adaptive polygons. And so for something like a cylinder, for example, so cylinder with lots of divisions, what's gonna happen is when we do the blind thing, each and every polygon face will have its subdivisions and it's gonna disappear a little bit by a little bit. Okay, so I'll explain how this actually works. So this is the final result from the original cylinder. I actually subdivided using this number. So currently the setup is maybe slightly confusing, but I'll explain. So we have an input recipient, and then we are using adaptive polygons, and I'm giving the donor, which is just a simple plane that has been subdivided. Okay, so that's the idea. And I'm using list masking to do the animations. So I'm just masking the face. Okay. So I could actually have more subdivisions on the original plane, and I can do the masking that way. So the blind effects, but we are doing it in the polygon component level. So this is the normal blind, just opening, closing, and opening face by face. There's one caveat here. So since I'm using masking, so there's this true and false. Somehow I cannot get everything to be false. Well, I probably can, but maybe the index to mask cannot do it. Let me explain a little bit better. So basically there's a masking, right? So if we are using just list input, so we have 5 polygon face to mask. 4, 5. Supposedly we can mask it out like this. So we should be able to animate like this. But we are using this node index to mask, and this is the node that's expecting index number and the mask length. So this is how we do it. It's much simpler this way, and because we are using Polygon Adaptive, we can actually rotate this. If I'm not wrong, we can have 4 different type of rotations, and we can randomize it. Let me try doing this. Okay, we need a number between 0 and 3, and we have a couple, we need a bunch of them. So polygon rotations. Okay, can I randomize this? I should be able to randomize this. Split this. Maybe it failed. Doesn't like it. It creates too much data. So let's get rid of this. So the blind effects can be done actually. So I'm thinking maybe we should use cycles or EV texture at some point. Basically, we want to apply color ramp for each texture, and then we're gonna animate the texture over time to create the blinds kind of effect. So that's actually what I'm trying to do here. Probably making it slightly overcomplicated. So yeah, I could rotate this, but it doesn't seem to take multiple data unless I'm splitting it somewhere. Maybe it's too slow. We can turn on join. Can make things a little bit faster. I have a feeling that this should work. Let's try 0 and 1. Plug this into polygon rotation. Yeah. This polygon is being rotated. Oh, it does actually work. So interesting. So let's increase this number. So now the blinds is, so we have, how many data we have? 160 polygon face, and we are using Polygon Adaptive, and we are randomizing the seed. Okay, so now if we try to animate this, each one of them is closing slightly differently. There's a stray vertices, you can see there's stray vertices you can easily delete. If you want something that's really clean, you can use delete loose. So we are really operating in the polygon level. This is supposed to work. Okay, yeah, it works. You just need to plug this in. So there you go. This is the final setup. So we can use cylinder or we can use Susan head. Let's go back to Susan head. Okay, so unplug this, plug this in. All right. So now let's see the final result. This guy. If you're animating, a better way is also to consider animating the blinds slightly offset, with slight offset. So not all of them closing and opening at the same time. But that's probably for the next episode. So now we can do some kind of blind effects. Remember, we can have more. Maybe say I have 20. That means I have 20 steps I can use to close the blind. So that's the whole idea. And like I said, this can be done using cycles, texture material. Imagine you are applying color ramp for each face, and you just simply animate the color ramp. That's actually kind of a cool effect. Try, you know. Remember, this value shouldn't be larger than this value. That way you can have the effects done correctly. All right. Yeah, so there you go. Thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully this is useful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.